welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Steph Castelein. I'm a lifestyle blogger and I share more of my own blogging journey here on YouTube to hopefully help you and inspire you on yours. Today's video has been a requested one for a while and I'm finally getting around to making it. I'm so excited. I'm going to be sharing my YouTube process and the gear and the programs that I use to create a full YouTube video. You guys are going to see a little bit behind the scenes. I am so excited for this. I wrote everything out. It actually took up 2 pages, you guys. It's crazy when you start looking at the details of like every single thing that you use and every single thing that you do, how much stuff really goes into this. One thing that I want to say is that my husband and I have a production company. Well, it started as his, and then when I met him, I joined that as well. So we do have some gear that you might not have. And I want to say, like I always say with blogging, start simple. Start with the basics. Start with what you can afford. Become consistent, okay? Build your foundation, become consistent. And then as you grow, you can purchase, higher priced items. You can purchase a better camera. You can purchase a better tripod, all the things. So don't think that you need all of this to start your YouTube channel. This is just what I have and what I use. But really just start with the basics. I really started diving into YouTube in February of this year of 2020. So I didn't know a lot about YouTube except looking up videos. So everything I've learned has been in the last, what are we at now? 10 months? The last 10 months. So yeah, there you have it. Let's dive in. Hold up, I just want to mention this real quickly that everything that I talk about in this video will be linked down below. So all of the gear that I use and the programs that I use, you can find them using the links down below. Now, most of those are going to be affiliate links. I want to be transparent with you guys. If you click on the link and you make a purchase, I receive a small commission. So that really helps me out and I really appreciate it. But just wanted to let you know that you can find everything down below. All right, now it's go time. Okay, so let's start with the most important item, and that is the camera. I am filming this. I film my videos with the Canon M50. There are a few reasons why I chose this camera. The most important one probably being the flip screen. I really wanted to be able to see myself, see how I was framed, see what the color looks like and as exposure changes, and the M50 has been awesome. I highly recommend it. I actually found this camera from Catherine Manning's channel. She is a YouTuber as well. I like the look of her videos and I was like, I wonder what she uses. So I looked it up, found that it was a reasonable price. We got this from B&H for around $500 with the lens included. Let me go ahead and switch cameras and show you guys what this actually looks like. Here it is, the M50. We talked about that flip out screen. I absolutely love this. It's so clutch for being able to just see yourself. It's also a touch screen, so any changes that you want to make, you can hear it. You can just go ahead and click on the buttons right there. Very similar to a DSLR, if you're familiar with DSLR cameras at all. It has some buttons on the top, but it's super lightweight and compact. Like, this thing is tiny. The kit lens that it came with is a 15 to 45 millimeter, so that's the lens that I record with. It works great for the videos that I do. Most of them I set on the tripod and I talk to the camera. That was pretty intentional because we have limited space in our house and not very good lighting, so I just wanted something that I could set on a tripod and would look good. This fits that perfectly. Now, I have been doing a little bit more dynamic videos, been changing, the lighting and the scenery. This has held up pretty darn well for that too. So I, again, just highly recommend this camera. The other thing that I want to mention is this microphone. This is an SE Electronics Pro Mic Laser. It's a shotgun microphone and it plugs in right into the camera. A microphone is one of those things that you might not need when you're first starting out. The camera takes good enough audio, but what happens with a camera is that it takes the sounds from the area. But when you have a shotgun microphone, it gives the microphone a target. Like, the microphone is literally pointed at me in a direction, so it's picking up specifically on my voice and not the audio all around me. The audio is very different with and without the microphone, but if you're just beginning and it's not in your budget, I don't think, in my opinion, you don't need it. But once you get to a certain level, you'll definitely want it. Something to know is that I will link this microphone down below, the one that we have. However, every time I've gone to search for it, it says that it's not available. This microphone is great. However, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. It doesn't have a battery reader. We don't know if the battery is good or bad. Also, it doesn't have like an indicator that it's on. So guys, the last video recordings that I did, literally last week, I recorded 2 videos, 2 entire videos, and I didn't turn the microphone on. And none of the audio, you know, showed up because the mic wasn't on. If we were to buy a new one, we would get a different kind. So go ahead and do your own research if you want a microphone. The SD card that I use, you know, it's the little card that you insert into the camera, and that's where all of your footage goes. We use the SanDisk 64 gigabytes. Now, we have a variety of these because of all the filming and video that we do for our business, but the one that I'm using in the camera today is the Extreme Pro 95 megabytes per second. And then talking about batteries, the camera came with one Canon battery, but in our opinion, you can never have enough batteries. So we actually got 2 off-brand batteries. They're Watson, and the reviews that we read were that they work just as well as the Canons. However, out of the 2 of them, one will not charge at all and one works fantastic. But they're quite a bit cheaper than a Canon brand battery, so I would recommend them, but if one doesn't work, send it back. One more camera I want to mention, because I do use it occasionally, is this little action cam. It's kind of like a GoPro, but it's a DJI Osmo Action. This thing is so versatile, and it was only about $250, which is pretty budget friendly. Like I said, the Canon M50 was about $500 for the kit, so including the lens, but this can handle a variety of conditions. You know, it can go underwater, you can just like turn it on and see. It also now has this front facing cam, so if I just double tap it, it shows me, you know, when I'm recording, so that's nice to be able to see. The steady software in this thing is like incredible. So if you're out and about more, doing more vlogging, or maybe in harsher conditions, if you're like by wood chips or the ground or water or cold, maybe this would be a good option for you. With this, for the SD card, we actually use a SanDisk micro SD 64 gig again. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, can't lose that one. Similar to the SanDisk, well, it's just the micro basically version of the SanDisk that I use for the Canon M50. And then when I go to film with this, I don't generally just hold it and film, which you totally can do, but I generally use this GorillaPod. Now this GorillaPod, I will link to one down below, not specifically this one, because this was part of a kit that we got like 3 or 4 years ago. They had tons of these available, tons of different brands, so do your own research. Like I said, I'll link down below, but it's not the one that I have. It's not this one. This is just a cheap one that has served us really well. And this is almost always what I use when I use my action cam. Actually, I have used this occasionally, a few different times, for my Canon M50 when Scott has the tripod. I use this GorillaPod to hold the M50 and it works fine. That's what's great about the mirrorless camera and being super lightweight. Like, this is the tripod that you can use. Pretty cool. Oh. That's why you don't do that, folks. So that's kind of everything to do with the camera. So let's move on to the tripod, what I put the camera on. This that I'm using right now and that I mostly use, if I wiggle it a little bit, is a Manfrotto 055 CX Pro 4. I never knew how expensive tripods could be. Obviously, there's different reasons for the different price points. For you guys, if you're doing simple like standstill vlogging where you don't have a lot of elements or extreme conditions going on, you can get a super cheap tripod if you want. The Manfrotto, the one that we have, is in that higher quality, however higher price category. It's made of carbon fiber, so it's lighter. We wanted it to be light and it folds up to be compact, so when we go hiking or traveling, we can carry it with us and it's not too much of a burden. Also, it's really stable for like the outdoors and wind. If you get a cheap, really light one, like they can literally tip over. So that's why we have this one. Again, mostly for Scott's business. If you're just starting out, find something simple. That's my recommendation. Moving on to lighting, I film in our little cabin, which we absolutely love, but the lighting is horrible. It's super dark and it's super yellow, so lighting was pretty essential. We ended up going with the newer, is that how you say that? 3-piece LED light kit. Now we just got the lights. The link down below includes a light stand, assuming that you'll need one. I'll talk about the light stand in a minute, but we already had them because we use them for our camera flash lights. Not flashlights, our lights that flash for photography. We already had the stands, so we just needed the lights. But what's nice about this 3-pack of lights is that they come in this little package, this little carrier case. So this is super convenient to store in the closet, to take with you if you go to a photo shoot or you're moving or going somewhere else. So when you open the case, you can see the light with these barn doors that open up that helps you give more direction for the light. And if we flip it around, you can see, like I mentioned, that these are LED, so they don't get hot. That's super nice. And it also has these controls for yellow and white, so you can change the color of the lights. And then you just insert the power cord that is included into an outlet as well as the light itself. Set up the light on a stand, adjust it as needed, and you have your light for filming. Speaking of the light stand, like I mentioned, we had these already. This is an Impact LS8AI. As you can see, they fold up pretty darn compact. It's super light. That's what I really like about these light stands. But if you just loosen some of these, you can fold out the base into a triangle and adjust as needed, tighten that down. And then these light stands, if you loosen these as well, get super tall, but you can adjust those as needed. A little hack, if lights are not yet in your budget, you want to film facing a window if possible. So let that natural light in, let that natural light hit your face. Sometimes these lights, like Scott needs them for a photo shoot. So some of the time, if I'm doing more of a vlog style or a relaxed video, I'll just film with the camera on a Gorilla Pod and just like go to a window and have that light hit my face. So that's something that you can do if you're just starting as well. Another tool that I use is this Rhea bounce card. You can see how compact this is, but watch what happens when I open it up. Whoa. That's what happens. This is a Rhea 5-in-1 collapsible reflector, and when I set up my lights, I have two that shine on me, kind of from the front and from the back. But then I have one that's right beside me at an angle on the side. And instead of having that really harsh light just like shining right on me, it bounces off this bright white bounce card and is just a softer reflection back onto me. A little hack for you if you don't have a bounce card, you can just put up a white sheet, a white pillowcase, white anything that reflects back onto you, but it really just softens the light. So that is what I use this bounce card for. Another way to control the light is this blanket. This is just a picnic blanket that we got as part of a kit for like a picnic backpack, and I use this with some good old clothespins to hang up and block out the light coming in from our kitchen window. The light always changes outside. If the sun goes behind a cloud or if it gets darker, you know, that continues to change, so then the light on you changes. Well, by putting up this little black curtain, this little blanket that acts as a blackout curtain, I'm able to control the light more artificially with my setup lights. And then some little things that you might not have even thought about before, but help take your videos to the next level. They're super simple. The idea behind them is to simplify. If you're the focus of your video, if you want your viewers to listen and to pay attention to you, you want to eliminate any distractions. So every time I go to film a video, I take the batteries out of the clock. Otherwise, there's a tick, 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 tick always in the background. I unplug the fridge. Otherwise, there's this on and off hum throughout the video. I also turn off the heat. So we're coming into fall and winter now here in northern Michigan. We have our heat on. I turn it off when I film. Otherwise, again, that kicks in and there's this hum in some of the audio clips, but not in others. Also, cleaning up the area directly behind me, I take down a photo board that has pictures of us that's hanging up, as well as two carvings that Scott has done. That just cleans up the area directly behind me. And then even further back, the background in the living room, I always clean up if there's anything that we need to tidy. I shut off all the lights, but I turn on the two Edison bulb lights way in the background. I also shut the curtains to our sliding door so I have more control over the light, as well as it's just not as distracting. Look what happens when I leave them open. You can see directly behind me is that light. Just paying attention to the background and those little details so that there aren't as many distractions and the focus is on me. So once I have all the lights set up and the background looking good, then I film my video. Now, filming usually takes me anywhere from 45 minutes to 3 hours. And once I'm done filming, I take my thumbnail using the camera. So I switch the camera from video to photo mode, and then I connect my camera to an app on my phone. You can see it right here. Well, I don't know if you can see this, but it's called Camera Connect. I have it on a 2-second timer, and I just press, it says remote live view shooting. You can then do like a remote shutter, and I press it, and then I take my thumbnail. Like I have an idea. Okay, ready, and Now I don't need the app or the phone to be able to take the photo. The camera has a built-in 2-second timer as well, so I could go ahead and just press the shutter manually and then pose, but it's a lot easier to just like line it up, see what I want to look like, use the flip screen as well as my phone, and then just take it from here. Also, I have taken a few of my thumbnails and in a hurry because I didn't want to set up the camera using my phone. So if you don't have a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, our phones nowadays, if you have a smartphone, are pretty darn awesome and the cameras are great. I would do it again. Like I would take my thumbnails with this if I had to. So just know that as a reference. So now I have my video footage and I have the photo for my thumbnail. I have to transfer that footage from my SD card in the camera to a hard drive so I can edit on my computer. So let's break this part down. I have a 15-inch MacBook Pro 2016. Here it is. This is what I use to edit my videos on. I just hit myself in the head. I always do that because I'm like trying to get so close to things. But this is what I use to edit my YouTube videos. Also, Scott has a desktop. He has a 2017 Apple iMac, late 2015. I do use his computer for two things. One, for uploading the video, and then I also use it to edit my photo, my thumbnail, and I'll talk more about that when I get to that. To get the footage from the SD card to the computer, we use this Sobrent Premium 3-port card reader. So the 2016 MacBook Pro does not have a slot for an SD card. There's like no way to do that. So we have to use this card reader, which we put in right there. Then this connects to the computer. And I'm able to access the footage from the SD card via the card reader and transfer it to our external hard drive. This one I named Magic Box 1. We give them different names. This is a WB Element 4TB hard drive. If you're not familiar with hard drives, they are essential. Video takes up a ton of storage and you don't want that storage to live on your computer. You want to have it live on an external hard drive. 4 TB is a lot, but when you're going through video files and that's what you use all the time, you're gonna eat through that storage very quickly. You'll find as you become more advanced with your videos or with YouTube that you definitely need an external hard drive. And then another little tool that is essential to this process is this little guy. It's a USB-C to USB adapter, and again, the 2016 MacBook Pro does not have a spot for a USB, so you can see like that's the USB that you would use to like plug everything in. You actually have to use this adapter, which the USB fits in there, and then the USB-C part, it's not focusing because it's focused on my face. Anyway, there's the C part, fits right in there. So what we do is we have two of them. We need two of them because we need to plug both of these in at the same time. Here is my card reader, and I put this one on. I put another one on my hard drive, and then I plug them both in to my computer, and I'm able to take the footage from the SD card over to the hard drive. Also want to note that the link for these down below are not actually these ones. I don't know what these came with. They were a kit for something or we got them right away. I'm not sure. We did order some additional ones because we're always losing these and we absolutely love them. They're the Thunderbolt, and that's what I linked down below. But of course, we lost those in true fashion, why we had to get more. But I recommend the Thunderbolts because we use them up until we lost them. Why we lost them is because we use them so much. So just want to let you know that it won't be this one. I want to show you how I organize the footage because I always think it's interesting to see how other people do it. So if we look at my computer, here's my hard drive, Magic Box 1. I have a folder called Steph YouTube Videos where I have more folders that contain all the footage for all the different videos. Let's go to NaNoWriMo. If I click on that, I have a folder that I've created called Photos and Video. So I do this right away. I create a photos, and then I have a thumbnail one that includes all the photos for my thumbnail, as well as a folder for other, and those are those graphic any screenshots that I took. And then I also create right away the video folder, which includes camera, which is the camera footage, so what I film with. You can see it all right here, and then other. So this is usually any screen recordings or recordings that I do from my phone. And then I save the video onto just this main folder in the NaNoWriMo, so it's saved right there, as well as the thumbnail for that specific video. So that's really the easiest way that I found to keep things consistent. Every time I go and create a new video, the process is the same And that makes it really simple for me. All right, moving on. We have all the footage on the hard drive. Now it is time to edit. We're like halfway done here. Isn't this crazy? Like the whole process, how long it really takes, how involved it is, what it all involves. I find it interesting. Hopefully you do too. Hopefully you're still with me. But I use Final Cut Pro to edit. So this is a more advanced editing program. We have it because of Scott's business, but let me tell you, I edited a lot of videos before I got into Final Cut Pro using iMovie. iMovie is really simple to figure out and to use, and I highly recommend it. Find someone who can help you out and just simplifies the editing process, because again, you don't have to be fancy at the beginning or have all the bells and whistles. Just do the basics, be consistent, and you can grow from there. Now, Final Cut Pro, I want to add that the program that we use, I knew nothing about Final Cut Pro at the beginning. I learned this program about 3 years ago, and I learned to edit just like you would probably have to learn to edit if you're new to it. I had to look up YouTube videos, I had to look up blogs, I had a lot of trial and error and spent a lot of time just like trying new things. Hopefully that just encourages you a little bit, that you don't have to be intimidated by editing, you just have to be willing and driven enough to learn it for yourself, okay? So Final Cut Pro for us. So with editing, I generally do a first rough cut draft. So I chop and I trim all the, the bad stuff out, all the pauses, all the mess ups. There's a lot of mess ups, and I go through and I trim all of that out. I also at this time add designs or any little effects that I want, like my Instagram name, or if I want like a slide to come on of little points that I'm making. I make all of those designs using Canva. Canva is linked down below. I'm also an affiliate member, so if you make a purchase, I get a small commission if you use that link. Oh, and with Canva, I use the free plan. If you upgrade, you can definitely get a lot more perks. Trust me, I've thought about it many times that I need to upgrade real soon, but I am still using the free plan. So something that you could do as well. After I have that first draft done, I generally go through, watch it all, and trim where I can again, try and narrow it down and shorten it as much as I can. But I also add music at this time. I get all my music from Epidemic Sound. It's $15 a month, so it's like a recurring payment. I absolutely love it. They have a whole bank and variety of music. I should also mention that Epidemic Sound has awesome sound effects. I have used so many of their sound effects that I really thought I would just use them for their music almost exclusively, but I've found that I use their sound effects all the time. So really like them for that as well. Okay, once I have that second draft done and I've added all the music, I usually go back for one final viewing just to check on things, and once everything looks good, I export it. I export my videos in the format web hosting, video code H.264, better quality, and the resolution 1920 by 1080. So then I export that onto my hard drive. So now we are getting close to the end. I have my final video and that is exported. I'm able to eject my hard drive and I go over to Scott's computer. Like I said, that's where I load because for some reason the internet's better. So I start loading my video on YouTube. And while I'm doing that, I actually go in and I edit the original photo. And then I save that photo to the hard drive. Once that photo is saved, I go over to Canva. Have I mentioned it enough in my videos? Like, are you guys with me yet? Are you using Canva? You should be using Canva. It's awesome. And I have all of my designs that I've created and I create a thumbnail. Now I generally keep things the same with the thumbnail, so I actually just copy the previous thumbnail that I created and then I insert the new photo as the background and put the wording or whatever I want on there, however it fits best. And once the thumbnail is complete, I again save that to my hard drive and I upload it to YouTube. Now let's talk about uploading the video. One program that you absolutely need if you're going to be on YouTube, at least in my opinion, is TubeBuddy. And I am using the free version of TubeBuddy. Obviously it has limitations. You can upgrade to Pro or whatever their next level plan is. But I'm using the free version of TubeBuddy and it is awesome. It is a YouTube program that dives into like keywords and analytics and really just gives you some insight into what's going to help your video be seen and how you can, make it that much better. To upload a video on YouTube, you log into your account and you go to this camera with a plus sign that says create. When you hover over it, you click on it, you click on upload video, and then you can just drag and drop your video in. So let's go ahead and do that. I'll just show you guys this as an example. You can see that it's loading with these little raindrops. It looks awesome. And then this box pulls up. From here, you want to fill in the details. So starting with the title, you have 100 characters to work with, but what's important with the title is that you include a keyword that you can rank for based on the research that you did over on TubeBuddy. Moving on to the description, I write a paragraph that again includes those keywords as well as tells the viewer what they can expect from my video. I also add in other videos that they might like, you know, just trying to keep people on your channel. And then I also have linked all the tools and resources that I use as well as my camera gear. These are mostly affiliate links. If you have affiliate links, you do need a disclaimer so you can see it there. And then here is where you add your thumbnail. So you can either click on it to upload it or you can just drop and drag it as well. If you don't create your own thumbnail, YouTube will generate 3 different thumbnail options, but they're usually, you know, you caught like in the middle of a sentence or eyes closed or something that isn't very appealing. So it's always a good idea to make your own thumbnail. And again, that's made super easy with Canva. Then I add them to a playlist. So I've created all of these playlists. If people want to know how to make money blogging, they can watch all the videos that I've added to this playlist, Make Money Blogging. But you can add more than one if you want. So you would just click the ones that this video pertains to. And unless the video is specifically made for kids, like a children's program, you're going to click no, that it's not made for kids. And then you're going to click on this more options part. And here's where you can add tags. So different keywords that people might search for and will also help your video rank higher. This can be done from the research that you do over on TubeBuddy as well. You have 500 characters that you can use, and it's really a good idea to include tags on your videos. So once you're done with that, you can go to next. You'll be on this video elements side of things. You won't be able to add an end screen or a card until the video is completely done processing. However, when you are ready, you can go ahead and do that in your YouTube studio. And then finally, visibility. So you can choose to save and publish your video right away, either as private, unlisted, or public. I'll let you go ahead and read through those. But you can also, I love this feature, you can schedule your video. So you can pick when you want to do it, you know, maybe tomorrow at 10 a.m. or whatever, you know, whatever you decide. So then you would just go ahead and click schedule and close this. And you'll see your video is processing right there, and also visibility is pending. So all my other ones are public. This one is pending because it is scheduled out for November 12th at 10 a.m. Now, if you do want to add that end screen and card, which is a good idea, you go into your completed video and go to details. And here's where you add the end screen. Just go ahead and click on edit, and then you can add the different elements that you want there. And cards, if you want to add those, you can see here this plus sign. You can add a video, a playlist, or a channel at different points of your video. This shows you where it's located, and then this shows you what it looks like on your video. Once you have all that filled out, you can see your latest video here. It's completely loaded, and because I didn't include my own thumbnail, this is one that it auto-generated for me. So look how different it is than all the ones that I've actually created. If you ever need to edit one of your videos in the future, all you do is you go to YouTube, you click on your little icon up here in the corner and go to YouTube Studio. That will take you to this page, and you can go ahead and go to videos. You'll see all your videos here, and if you click on details, that is where you can make these changes. And just when you think you're done, you're not quite finished yet. Now it is time to promote your video. So you've put all that hard work in, you've gone through the whole process, and now you need to promote it to your followers and to your audience to get traffic to your video. So I almost always promote the video on my Instagram stories. If you're not following me on Instagram, you can go ahead and do that, and you'll see more behind the scenes of my blogging journey. I sometimes promote it on an Instagram post, sometimes promote it on my Facebook page as well. From there, I was making pins over on Pinterest, but I've kind of halted that as I've gotten busy getting my blog all set up and everything. So I probably should be promoting over there, but truthfully, I'm not. I also promote it on Linktree. So Linktree is the little link that is in the bio of my Instagram. And then when people go to my link on Instagram, it takes them to this page, which you can see, and it has the 3 different options that they can click on, the video being the first one. And now, finally, as I'm starting back up with email, I will include my videos in a weekly email to my subscribers. That's the plan. Again, I'm not currently doing that. I was when I had my email list going. So just something you can do is you build your email list, let them know when you post a new video, or if you post like 2 new videos a week, you can do like a weekly roundup including the 2 videos. That's a great way to engage with your audience and to drive traffic. People on your email list want to be there. They're there for a reason, because you've targeted them, and because you know you're providing something of value that they want to be a part of, that they want to know more about. So if you are emailing them weekly or bi-weekly, coming out with this content that you're creating, they're not going to be annoyed by it. They're going to thank you for it. People need to see things multiple times. So even if they follow you on Facebook and Instagram, it's okay to send them an email and let them know about the content that you're creating. Holy moly, you guys, that is everything that I use. That is my YouTube process. That is my YouTube flow. That is the gear and the programs, and I hope you guys learned something and enjoyed this behind the scenes look at how this is all created. Yeah, but like I said at the beginning, go ahead and start with what you have, go ahead and start with what you can afford, and just start doing it, be consistent, get in front of the camera, because being in front of the camera and letting the words flow and having your thoughts like come to you while looking at the camera and smiling and not, you know, it's a lot more complicated than it seems, but it really is such a joy. YouTube is a totally different community than any of my other platforms, and it honestly is the way of the future. Blogging will always be there, but just know that YouTube is a very interesting platform to consider if you want to make money online and if you want to make money passively. You guys, I feel like I progressively got redder throughout this video. It was like, holy cow, spotlights, baby. So many of you, like I said, have asked for this video, and I appreciate your guys' feedback, your questions, and just your suggestions and what to make and what you want to see. If you have any more suggestions, let me know down below. If you have any questions, let me know down below. I will help you as much as I can, however I'm able to. But yeah, thanks for being here today. Thank you for joining me on this. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye. Oh no! Time out. Speaking of growing on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out, it helps my channel grow, and it helps me get in front of an audience that I might not otherwise reach. Thank you guys for your support, thank you for your encouragement, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Okay. Goodbye.